Most people think the UK housing market is just about prices going up or down, but the market has a hidden structure where people buy what they buy and how those homes are actually owned. Today we're going to use millions of UK property transactions to reveal three patterns that almost nobody talks about. Let's start with geography. On screen is not a map, it's something called a Voronoi tree map. Every county is sized equally but coloured by its average property price. Immediately one county dominates, Greater London, and that's not surprising, but if you look around it, Surrey, Buckinghamshire, Hertfordshire, Oxfordshire, they're not just expensive individually, together they form a clear high value belt surrounding London. As you move further north and west, the colours become noticeably lighter. That doesn't mean homes are cheap, it simply shows how concentrated the UK's highest average prices really are. And this is important. People often describe the UK housing market as just one national market, but the data suggests something very different. It's a collection of regional markets with very different pricing structures. So geography explains where the money is. But what about the homes themselves? This graph looks unusual and it's called a violin plot. Instead of showing averages, it shows where most properties actually sit within each property type. Let's start with detached homes. They have the widest spread by far. Most detached homes cluster in the middle price ranges, but there's also a very long tail reaching into the multi-million pound market. Detached houses dominate the luxury end of UK housing. Now look at the semi-detached homes. The distribution is much tighter. Most sales sit within a fairly consistent range. Terraced properties become even more concentrated. They're remarkably consistent across much of the country. And finally, flats. Many people assume flats are always the cheapest property type, but that's not what the data shows. While many flats occupy lower price ranges, there is also a surprisingly long luxury tail. In central London apartments, waterfront developments and premium city centre properties, the lesson here is simple. Property type influences price, but it doesn't determine it. Location still matters enormously. Now there's one more hidden layer that many buyers don't fully appreciate, and that's ownership. This may be the simplest graph in today's video, but it might be the most useful. On the left you have tenure, freehold, leasehold. On the right we have property type. Watch where the flows go. Detached homes, almost certainly freehold. Semi-detached, again overwhelmingly freehold. Terraced houses, mostly freehold too. But then we reach flats, and suddenly the picture changes completely. The overwhelming majority of flats are leasehold. That's been the traditional structure of apartment ownership across England and Wales for decades. Of course there are exceptions. Some flats are freehold, some houses are leasehold. But at a national level the pattern is unmistakable. And this is why tenure becomes a much more important consideration when buying a flat. You're not simply buying a property, you're also buying into a particular legal ownership structure. So what have we learned? First, the UK's highest property prices remain heavily concentrated around London and its surrounding counties. Second, different property types have very different price distributions. Detached homes occupy the broadest and often most expensive parts of the market. And third, ownership isn't evenly distributed. Freehold dominates houses, leasehold dominates flats. Taken together, these three visuals reveal something that's easy to miss when looking at average house prices alone. The UK housing market is not one simple market, it's a network of regional economies, property types and ownership structures, all interacting in different ways. And that's exactly why understanding the data matters. If you enjoy exploring the UK property market through data rather than headlines, then please subscribe to this channel. Every week we analyse millions of real property transactions to uncover patterns you won't see in traditional housing reports. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one.